What's going on, everyone? This is Rick 1982, and in this video I'm going to give my thoughts and predictions for the upcoming Best of the Super Juniors 30 tournament that's happening in May. So as you can see here, this is my prediction of who's going to win who I think is going to win the A block and the B block. So you got Hiromu Takahashi, who is the current IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion, and then you have El Desperado, who recently lost the Never Openweight six-man tag titles, but I feel that he's going to probably win the B block. So let's start this match. Now, the tournament, I believe, is happening for the entire month of May, starting with May 12th. So they already announced the card, the entire card for the tournament, and more importantly, they announced the A and B block participants. So for the A block, you have Kushida, Ryusuke Taguchi, we have Lio Rush, Goki, Hiromu Takahashi, Teton, TJP, Taiji Ishimori, Sho, and Speedball Mike Bailey. On the B block, you have El Desperado, Yo, Master Wato, Kevin Knight, Yoshinobu Kanemaru, Bushi, Robbie Eagles, Francesco Akira, Dan Maloney, and Clark Connors. So pretty much this year's lineup is technically last year's lineup. The only difference is that the 5 guys that were in last year's lineup were replaced by 5 different guys. So last year's lineup had Alex Zane, who's not going to be in this year's tournament. Ace Austin, representing Impact Wrestling, he won't be in this year's tournament. You had El Lindemann from the Gleep promotion, he won't be in this year's tournament. And then Wheeler Yuta from AEW, he's not going to be in this year's tournament. So this year there's no representative from AEW, and I know most people are not happy about that. What else? And then the other spot, I'm trying to remember who that last spot went to. I would say maybe it was Tiger Mask. I might have to go back and check. But like I said, those were the original 5 guys from last year, or the 5 guys from last year that were in last year's tournament. So like I said, this year's tournament is pretty much the same participants from last year. It's just that now we have 4 guys making their debut. That's Lio Rush, Kevin Knight, Dan Maloney, and who's the other one? And Speedball Mike Bailey. And then the other one is the returning Kushida. Because I remember Kushida, something tells me Kushida was supposed to be in last year's tournament, but because I think he got sick. He was either injured or sick. He wasn't able to compete. So now this year he'll be making his much anticipated return to the Best of Super Juniors tournament. Now, as far as predictions go, for the A block, it's going to come down to 2 people and I think those 2 people might be Kushida, even though right now he's currently one half of the IWGP Junior Tag Team Champions with Kevin Knight. It's either going to be him or it's going to be the current IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion Hiromu Takahashi. I think it's going to be, like, looking at the lineup, I know most people would probably like to see Speedball Mike Bailey in the finals. I wouldn't mind that as well, but I think it's going to be Kushida. No, not Kushida. I think it's going to be Hiromu Takahashi. I think it's going to be Hiromu Takahashi winning the A block, but I don't see him winning the tournament this year. He won it last year. He definitely won it last year. I don't see him winning it this year. And the reason why is because I think the winner is going to come out of the B block. And that's why for the B block, my prediction is El Desperado. And it's mainly because El Desperado recently lost the Never Openweight 6-man tag titles. So I think this is probably going to be his opportunity to not only win Best of the Super Juniors 30, but also go on to beat Hiromu Takahashi for the Junior Heavyweight Championship. Now, I wouldn't mind Master Wato. I think this year should be the year of Master Wato, in my personal opinion. I think Master Wato should win this tournament and possibly become Junior Heavyweight Champion. But from what it's looking like, I think New Japan is more focused on, I guess in their minds, the four pillars of the junior division is pretty much Hiromu Takahashi, Taiji Ishimori, El Desperado, and possibly Kushida, now that Kushida is back with the company. But I'm not entirely sure. Now, I'm looking forward to Speedball Mike Bailey. I know he was one guy that many fans, including myself, were looking forward to seeing in this tournament. Like, out of all the talent out there, he was pretty much on that list of guys that should have been in this tournament. And can't wait to see how he does this year in the Best of Super Juniors tournament. Obviously, he's going to be representing Impact Wrestling, so it's gonna be cool to see, especially like seeing him in the A block and the guys that he's gonna be taking on. You know, there's gonna be like a lot of matches I'm looking forward to in this tournament, mainly from the A block. Although I shouldn't count out the B block. There's gonna be some interesting matchups in the B block, like Francesco Akira versus Robbie Eagles, probably El Desperado versus Robbie Eagles. I'm looking forward to seeing how Dan Maloney does in the tournament. He's been in a tournament before. Not sure about a round robin tournament, but he has been in a tournament before. Most may remember him from NXT UK, because he did take part in the UK tournament. But yeah, it should be a good tournament this year. It's obviously not going to be as big of a tournament like last year. You can argue that it's like a step down from last year, but we'll see what happens. Now, there are at least 3 guys in the tournament that probably shouldn't be in the tournament this year and probably should have been replaced by 3 other people, and that being Yoshinobu Kanemaru, Yusuke Taguchi, and Sho. Mainly because for Kanemaru, he's a good worker in the ring, and he's not, using his whiskey during matches. That's the one takeaway I have with him. For Sho, it's obvious. It's him with House of Torture. Every time he's with House of Torture, it's just, his matches are not enjoyable to watch. Now he's a part of House of Torture. I miss the old Sho when he was with Chaos, when he used to be a part of Roppongi 3K with Yo. Now that he joined Bullet Club, and especially House of Torture, his matches, it just hurt his matches, in my opinion. And then Taguchi, he's also good in the ring. I mean, go back to like this old stuff before he went into the route of the comedy gimmick. And granted, the comedy gimmick that he's currently using, you know, to this day, it would definitely work if he was wrestling for DDT Pro Wrestling. But he's with New Japan Pro Wrestling. They're supposed to be the king of sports. But the way it's looking, they might be calling themselves the king of sports entertainment at this point. Or maybe the king of entertainment, but I don't see either. But it's just sad the way things are going with Taguchi. You know, you kind of wish that he would get rid of the comedy gimmick and be more serious like he probably used to be. But, you know, as far as who should have been in this tournament, there's a lot of names. One that comes to mind, obviously, would be Ninja Mac. He would have been perfect to see in the Best of the Super Juniors tournament this year. Maybe Amakusa, you know, and these are the guys that are currently in Pro Wrestling Noah. Of course, there's like talent from other companies in Japan that could have been in this tournament. Obviously, Dante Martin would have been a good representative for representing AEW in the tournament, and we just got this finish. El Desperado wins. Is that going to be the case when the tournament happens? Will he win the whole thing? My prediction, like I said, and this is also based off of what I just saw, I got El Desperado winning the whole thing. I see him winning the tournament this year. Even though I will be rooting for Master Wato. Master Wato, in my eyes, should be the one to probably win it this year, but knowing New Japan, they probably won't pull the trigger. If anything, it'll probably be El Desperado. So my final prediction is El Desperado wins the B block and he wins the tournament itself. And for the A block, it's going to come down to either Hiromu Takahashi or maybe Kushida. But you never know. They might have somebody else. They might have somebody else in there. But like I said, going back with Dante Martin, he would have been perfect for this tournament. But I believe he's currently injured. But maybe next year. Maybe we get a surprise and Top Flight are part of the Junior Tag League this year. It depends on, how long Dante Martin's going to be out of action. But, yep, that's going to do it for my predictions and my thoughts on this year's Best of the Super Juniors tournament. Now, the tournament, let me just double check. I want to double check right now. I'm on my phone as we speak, looking at this, looking at the list. The tournament, the Best of the Super Juniors 30 tournament, is going to start on May 12th, and I believe the finals is on May 28th. I believe that's the finals. Let me just double check and make sure. So pretty much this whole tournament is going to be throughout the entire month of May. I'm looking forward to this tournament just like I was last year. I will probably watch every match of the tournament just like I did last year. I'm not expecting it, I'm not expecting most of the matches to be a 5-star classic, but I'm hoping at least maybe one or two will pretty much pull that match of the year contender. Like maybe, for example, Speedball Mike Bailey versus Kushida. Maybe they have a match of the year candidate. Maybe Hiromu Takahashi versus Speedball Mike Bailey. Maybe Kushida versus Hiromu Takahashi. Or maybe the match of the year will come out of the B block. We'll have to wait and see. Like I said, again, my final prediction is I got El Desperado That is my lock of the tournament. I'm going with El Desperado to win the B block and to win the whole tournament. I think he, if I'm not mistaken, I think, hold on. Let me just double check. Best of the Super Juniors. Let's see. Best of Super Juniors 29. I'm going to check out last year's because I want to see what the finals was. I think the finals was Hiromu Takahashi and El Desperado. I might be wrong, but I'm going to double check. Granted, I'm looking at Wikipedia. Yeah, so Hiromu won it last year. Oh, yeah, it was El Fantasma, by the way. El Fantasma was in last year's tournament, and he's not going to be in this year's tournament. And that's mainly, I think the main reason why he's not in this year's tournament, El Fantasma, is because I think he's now moved up to the heavyweight division. Just like Will Ospreay, just like Shingo, they pretty much are now in the heavyweight division. But yeah, it was El Fantasmo, it was Ace Austin, Alex Zane, it was Wheeler Yuta, and El Lindemann. Those were the 5 guys that were in last year's tournament that are not in this year's tournament. And they were pretty much replaced by 5 new guys, even though one of them is not new. He's pretty much a returning guy. That's Kushida. But it's pretty much Kushida, Leo Rush, Dan Maloney, and then the other 2 were... So yeah, you had Kushida, you had Leo Rush, you had Dan Maloney, Kevin Knight, there you go, Kevin Knight, and then Speedball Mike Bailey. So yeah, the finals from last year. Yeah, so the finals from last year came down to Hiromu Takahashi against El Desperado. And I would not be surprised if we see that finals again this year. I have a funny feeling that we might see a repeat of last year. The only difference is, I think this time, El Desperado gets the victory. I guess you could say this was probably also a preview of maybe what the title match might be for Dominion. I think, because I believe that's the next big event happening right after Best of the Super Juniors is over. Because pretty much the winner of this tournament is going to get an opportunity to face Hiromu Takahashi for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship at Dominion. I'm assuming that the match is going to happen at Dominion. I'm just guessing. But yeah, this is pretty much what I see happening. I think the title match might be this one right here, El Desperado versus Hiromu Takahashi. But yeah, if you ever get a chance to watch this video, in the comments, leave down your predictions. Who do you see winning the A block? Who do you see winning the B block? More importantly, who do you see winning the whole tournament of the Best of the Super Juniors 30? And you think that this tournament is a step up or a step down from last year? What matches are you looking forward to in this tournament? Yeah, just give me your thoughts. Give me your predictions. Until next time, this is Rick 1982 signing out. God bless and take care. Peace.